feeling anxious. Take two. Sorry. If there's one thing I'm trying to teach with my life, it's that feelings are here to help you. Feelings are a friend. Feelings are a compass. They're a guide. They're meaningful. They have meaning. They don't have all the meaning, but they have some meaning. And whenever I started getting some anxiety about an hour ago after feeling a lot of happiness and a lot of peace. And I say prayers for people that I love the most. That sounds terrible. It's not hierarchical, but my family, the people closest to me that I've known the longest. I don't expect myself to make a list of all the people I've ever loved and all the people I currently love and run through the names of everybody in the mornings, because that's crazy and it's a form of self-sabotage and anxiety, and I don't use my prayer life in that way. But there are some core people to my core life that I do pray for, or I try to pray for every day, and that's a newer thing for me. The discipline of doing that, it helps me. It probably helps me more than it helps them. Whether or not you believe in prayers doesn't matter. I'm saying even for me who believes in prayers, it probably helps me more than it helps them, because it gives me a moment to reflect my own state of care for them. And it gives me a moment to realize the impossibility of caring for the whole world. It gives me a moment to let my introvert / writer self, I'm less of an introvert than a writer. Introverts maybe truly don't want to connect. I clearly want to connect. I just see the impossibility of it all the time. Like if I'm in a room with two people and they want two different things, they're in two different moods, they need two different modes of behavior, or they need two different feeling environments, that is the literal most stressful place for me to exist. And somebody once who was very wise about me was wrong about this with me, or maybe right, but didn't know what she was asking for me. She told me, try to allow yourself to be in groups of 3, in rooms, not just one-on-one. Because one-on-one I often can figure out how and who to be, but that also makes you a chameleon. And I've been a chameleon my whole life. Like, okay, with this person it's safe to talk about this. With this person it's safe to show my joy. With this person I should, focus more on my trauma or my sardonic side. With this person I can more openly talk about my faith. With this person I can more... Do you see how exhausting that is? That's insane. That's literal insanity, but that's how I've lived most of my life, since maybe middle school. And some of it comes from social traumas, just recognizing that certain friend groups wanted to behave certain ways, and you were kind of ousted and out if you acted outside of those ways. Like we talk about boys and we do this and we do that, and like then I'd be with another friend, she'd be like, why are you acting like fill in the blank? And it was literally because I only saw that friend a few times a year, but I saw these other friends all the time, and I was trying to have a crew, have a community, and so these are social wounds that happen to all of us. It's not just me. I know I act a lot of times like, oh, poor me and my trauma, and that was very self-dismissive, and I try to never do that. But what I mean is, I forget sometimes to bring what I'm talking about back to the general we. The we. Not the ennui. Not the we like yes in French. Or the ennui as in like despair and just kind of the malaise and melancholy of existence, but neither. Not yes, not no, just kind of, okay, but I also meant W-E, we, as in like all of us. Like, there's an all. I'm in front of a Chuck E. Cheese's, and hey, perfect example. Like, I loved Chuck E. Cheese's birthday parties when I was a kid, and I've resonated with some things that talk about autism and people who aren't aware of their peers as having the same kind of inner life that they have. When I was a very young kid, I couldn't understand people very well. I still don't understand people very well. What I just described is a sort of lack of understanding, because at the end of the day, if I believe that to be in a room with two people who each have a strong sense of self, if I believe that I'm not allowed to have a strong sense of self, if I'm always wanting to kill my sense of self, sorry, there's really cute kids in this parking lot, and I hope they're all safe. Yeah, they are. They're very watched. You're being a little too playful in a Chuck E. Cheese's parking lot. But like, I loved social stuff like that. Oh, there they are. Walking across the screen. I mean, they're really walking in real life, but I've accidentally captured their cuteness. Anyway, my point is, oh, and I also have a stuffed animal for my parents. My point is, you get to be a person too, in rooms and environments, and I'm learning how to do that. I'm getting better at it. I still always feel bad about it, like I'm taking up too much space, because my personality is very big. So it's like, how do you be yourself if yourself takes up a lot of space? If you come into the world like someone who's like me, you kind of learn at a very young age that you better not be yourself. Myself takes up too much space. I can tell that my light puts out other people's light everywhere I go. It's been my whole life. I either use too many words, even if I'm not talking and I'm just the one laughing the loudest or the happiest, or just using my voice just to affirm someone else's voice. If I'm doing it the most enthusiastically, I can see that it puts out the third person in the room's light. Like, that's some of my greatest pain, actually, is if I'm in a room with 3 people and I'm really affirming, if it's me and I'm trying to be the neutral chameleon being and I'm really affirming this one, I can really sense and see the third person's light go out sometimes. And thankfully for smartphones, some people will just disengage during moments like that, but it still sucks. It still hurts. It's almost like I've had to actively disconnect myself from the persona I'd previously been wanting, which is as an affirming person. If you're with me in person, I will affirm you less than I ever used to. I will be affirming myself, affirming things, affirming talking about passions of mine, and I will listen about passions of yours, and I will affirm them a little before I will try to change gears. But that's learned. That's self-preservation. It's because I don't like the pendulum yo-yo swing feeling. And I remember feeling sometimes like I didn't like that when other people were like that. Like if they were with me one-on-one, they were really affirming of me. But then if we were in a group, I was kind of invisible to them. I remember feeling like I didn't like people like that. But I'm becoming more like, I guess I'm saying I'm going to stop being like that. I don't know. Listen, you are seeing me at an absolutely weird point in my life, because trying to become yourself feels like it hurts people. And if you want to live a non-harm life, it's impossible. You're going to harm people just being yourself. So if you want to be non-harming, good luck with that. Like, you actually can't be. You being alive and having a self and having opinions and feelings and pain just resonating in a room, you're hurting people. You're also maybe helping people, because maybe you're helping bring some things to the light about the natural ways that we all bump into each other. And I think there was a book recently that I read. It was in the Tao Te Ching. I don't have it with me. It said, don't be so righteous, don't be so holy, don't be so this, don't be so that. And it was saying, basically don't put in effort or you'll kill family feeling. I think it said family feeling. And that makes sense. Like, if you are your natural self and he's his natural self and she's her natural self and everybody's just floating together, there's a natural family feeling of we can all just exist as ourselves in these spaces. And I don't think that that's easy or simple. And I don't think that it's without challenges. I think it has great challenges, but I'm going to put this bear down. But yeah, so I've been reading the Tao Te Ching a lot lately, and I've been reading what's it called, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, and I've been reading The Places That Scare You, I think it's called, by Pema Chodron. And I've been reading Fail Again, Fail Better, also by Pema. And then I've been also reading the Bible, Old and New Testament, because I went through a phase where I only read the Old Testament, and I got really scared and really, I was going to say depressed. I wasn't depressed, I was anxious. It really messed with me, so I don't know that that's healthy. New Testament is definitely where a lot of the practical, applicable wisdom lies, and the Old Testament is context and, to me, very difficult to follow even the tiniest bit of it perfectly. And if anyone's claiming to, I don't believe them. Like, you can try, but anyway. Well, guys, still anxious, but I talked it through a little bit. I just said "well, guys" to my stuffed animals, so that's cool. I don't know that I want a Chuck E. Cheese parking lot as my entire backdrop, but there it is. Okay. Totally didn't bring my tuner. So, this poor little guitar got stuck up on the highest shelf. And while it was on the highest shelf, it didn't get a single song written or on it or played with. But also, I was very nestled into a guest bedroom in southern Indiana, Brian's parents' house, and it was a dream. An absolute dream. Thanks, Heather and Pat. And hi, Daniel. He's been here too. Big heart in that one. And a huge heart in Brian. Who this is from. I picked it out for myself, but it's from Brian. It's for us. Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh, what am I even talking about? Really doesn't sound that good when it's out of tune. I think that one's still out of tune. That's the closest yet. Here we go. And a 1, and a 2, and just kidding. I don't actually feel it. Well, I kind of do. I think my anxiety is here because this is my last day, and I'm leaving really early tomorrow morning to drive 11 hours, and that's always stressful. And my sister's about to drive 16 hours with her 3 little pipsqueaks. Hi guys, I love you. Her trip's from Colorado to Wisconsin. Mine's from Indiana to Minnesota. I love this big and beautiful country. So many views, so many conflicting views for so many beautiful people. So many people taking up space. So many people just are here, like we're here now. My ancestors came here, and I'm here now. I don't belong in Europe. People who are the ancestors of people from Africa, people who are the ancestors of slaves, they don't belong anywhere else than here now. Like, we're here now. We're here, we're here, we're here, we're here, we're here, we're here. Brian's mother has family almost solely in Canada. She's from Canada. Dad's family, I think, was originally in Ohio, but my mom's, maybe, and then my dad and my mom were born in Racine, Wisconsin, I think. Maybe my dad was, like, born in Ohio, but they came to Racine, Wisconsin pretty early on. I think they spent a little time in the Detroit area, if I remember right. My brother migrated to the Minneapolis area before any of his kids were born, so they're all literally from Minnesota. But they grew up knowing Wisconsin because they came to visit all of us. I moved to Chicago for a lot of my early adulthood, so I feel a sort of mixture. Sometimes when I want to feel like I'm part of a place, I say that I'm part of a lake. I have a song about it. It'll be on the next Cloudlight record. It's called Lake Michigan. That's where I'm from. That's what I say. I've only spent about 6 years of my life total. 4 of them in Appleton, Wisconsin for undergrad, 2 of them in New York City for grad school, and everything else I've spent within a few miles of this very great lake. I say this, I'm not by it right now. But I do find it peaceful other places. I really like the big open prairie feel, and I like rivers running through things. I love the Mississippi River. I love southern Indiana, and I don't even know why. I love Colorado, but I say that with reservation. I don't have any reason or way to explain why I don't love Colorado as much as I love other places in that area. I guess I love Fort Collins, Colorado. That was my favorite. I like where my sister lives. It doesn't feel like home to me, for me, but it's very homey. But if I had to pick somewhere in that region, I'd probably pick New Mexico. I love the landscape just north of Santa Fe. I think it was called Ojo Caliente. And all the way down to Albuquerque, there's roads that come right from the Colorado mountains. And that whole drive is just stunning. Brian made me a song this morning. It was about like my bird heart and loving to migrate and us having a home in each other's hearts. Well, he said he has a home in his heart with me. It was beautiful. My grandma's room number on my clock always is like a sign, like a wink from an angel, like a wink from the sky. 253. That was her room number. I feel like I lucked out, and people don't like hearing your lucky stories, your good luck stories. People don't love other people's blessings, but I'm counting my blessings today. Because this morning, to have a random date on the back porch in southern Indiana and have my boyfriend doodling along with me on some 20-minute long video. It's probably the upload right before this one. And then the second I turn that video off, he writes a real song. He tells me he needs a theme, and I list a bunch of things. And then he writes the best song I've heard in ages with his angel voice. My voice isn't working. I don't know why. Sometimes I get involved in things that are bigger than me. I need to remember not to do that. I've got a wonderful world all around me that teaches me through energy. The things I share online, the things I believe, the light and the dark. The light and the dark, making different people uncomfortable in different ways, perhaps. Both are made. You don't have to believe in the things that I believe in. You don't have to say things you don't want to say, dear. Do you know that? Do you know the way here? You don't have to say, you don't have to lay claim, you don't have to say the name here. You don't have to be a friend to those who want to rip the band-aid off again and again, dear. You don't have to make them see you're on their side. You can be you. You don't have to be afraid of being seen as some kind of non-ally. It's okay. You can grieve in your own way. It's okay. Say here that you're not okay. Being enraged, no matter how much pain the world is in. You can delete those posts. You can change your ghost. You can alter time any way you choose. You don't have to say things in the same way as those around you do. It's yours to choose. It's yours to choose. And I'm not going to get lost anymore in the way they are wanting to keep score. It's up to you. I know what happened to my voice. I jumped on a social media bandwagon, something that is a very righteous cause, but I stuck my leg out. When you do that, when you stick your neck out, stick your leg out, you literally get stabbed in the throat. Because anyone who disagrees with your approach will let you know. They'll let you know. They'll let you know, but not in words, in energy, and you will feel that in your veins. It's like a curse. It's like a spiritual curse. It's like somebody casting spells. Just stay out of the way, little girl. It's not your war. It's not your war anymore. You can be a drama queen, but is that how you want to be seen anymore, 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 anymore? They know that's what you've been through, so just check out of the game, rewrite the story, 'cause you're morning glory in your way, and you can change your tune. You can find your voice any way you choose, and you don't have to be the same as those you see around you. It's your story, not their story. It's your time. If you can't please the whole world, you should be a good wife in your own way. You can be liberal or hated, you can be conservative or hated, you can be moderate and hated too. You can be you, 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 you can be different than them, and you will be too. You get to be you, you get to be you, you have to be you inside, why not be it on the outside too? So I'll take down those posts, though I hate all the hate, and I hate all the ghosts this war wants to create. But I didn't kill those people, even in my mind. I didn't even kill those perpetrators who the media wants to say were kind, just kind of messed up. I don't want to hate either of you, I just want to learn to love you, learn to love you. But you can't say that out loud, you can't say that out loud. But if someone's on the fence of some great offense, what good does it do to call them a hater until they prove you right? What good does it do the world? What good does it do the world to be right? To be right, to call out everyone and say you're right, 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 you're right. Oh, liberals, how you're right, how I've been right, how I've been right. What does that do to the spirits in the night? What does that do? Does that settle the score? Does it make them rise up against you, wanting more, wanting more, wanting more? Oh, you hypocrite souls, and I am one too. I sit on my lazy bones, I sit on my lazy bones, virtue signaling to you. Oh, you hypocrite souls, with all your virtues. I've seen virtues in the Christian church too, I've seen it in the church too. We painted walls, we donate money and time, talents, we give up our lives for little clubs, little girls and boys. There's hypocrites too there, there's hypocrites everywhere. You know it's true, you know it's true, you know it's true. But you can't fight hate with hate, can you? You can't fight hate with hate, can you? Who would fight love with love? It's not about fighting, dear. Someone has a little sign that says grandma in their windshield. And it says Wyatt, 6 years, grade K. Well, I have to teach in like a very short amount of time. There's my space. I wanted to run inside and get a little thank you present at Aldi for Brian's parents. But yeah, I literally teach in 40 minutes, so I should probably go. I don't know what that was. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not against liberals and I'm not against conservatives. I do align way more with liberal ideology, but I can't help but see the valid points inside of many conservative talking points about hypocrisy. Like, you know, it's very, 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 very easy to be a hypocrite. I think the whole world would relax and be a calmer place if everyone would acknowledge the simplicity and the ease with which we are all, every human on this planet, able to become a hypocrite. Very much me. I know for sure me. So, before you preach anything, practice it. And the more you practice it, the more you'll see your own hypocrisy. And the more you see your own hypocrisy, the less you'll want to preach. And I've just made my entire channel ironic. No, but seriously, I'm not trying to preach. I'm literally just trying to write songs and find myself because for some odd reason, being completely alone in a minivan or going on road trips or being on a back porch at my boyfriend's parents' house, when I push pause to the active action in a room, like I said, being a chameleon or a person who's constantly trying to turn myself into a ghost, to ghost my own self. As a person like that, when I press pause and I go away and I press record and I talk and I say things and I learn things and I write songs, as I do that, I find out who I even am, because that's how much PTSD and trauma I have, that I have a bit of a deer in headlights thing when I'm in spaces and around people. So that's just me. It might be you too, if you relate to that. So vlogging's cool, vodcasting as they're now saying. You know, whatever you are, whoever you are. Journaling, I journaled for a long time. Before I even started talking like this, I probably had 10 years worth of journals before I ever started making these. So, do you, be you. Don't worry too much about other people and how they feel. Says the person who's constantly worrying what everyone else feels and things. But I guess what I'm saying is I'm trying to wake up from that. I'm trying to learn how to be the kindest version of myself, but include myself in the kindness. Include myself in the pool of people to be kind to. And sometimes I have to literally put myself first because I'm the only one that can do that for me, you know. But sometimes I don't. Sometimes I put other people first. A lot of times I do, but anyway. And there you go. This video not brought to you by Chuck E. Cheese. We called it Chuck E. Cheese as kids, but it's Chuck E. Cheese's. Anyway, bye.